Welcome to Hometown Happenings. Carol McCarthy here today with Libby Larson in the KDLM News Studio, I should say the Layton Broadcasting News Studio, and talking to Libby, who is working as an intern this summer for us. And I'm going to have her tell us a little bit about what she's been working on, a little bit about what's next as she has graduated from college. I think the last time I was on with her, she was a senior in high school on the swim team. So we'll get a little update from Libby. But welcome to Hometown Happenings, Libby.
Well, thanks, Carol. Thanks for having me. It's been a fun summer with you so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So describe a little bit about what you have been working on this summer here.
Yeah, well, I started off doing some writing for you mostly because that's kind of what I was more familiar with coming from college, and you've kind of eased me nicely into the actual radio part of it, which has been really cool. So I've done a fairly diverse amount of both going out and doing a few interviews and doing a little bit of recording, so I'm just kind of getting into that and working on my radio voice, as you've been helping me with. And I've actually been working on kind of a longer-term project over the summer, which has been really fun as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your experience before you came here. Obviously, you graduated from college. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I just graduated from Gustavus Adolphus College, and my mom was actually a Gustie, so we have a cool family connection there, yeah. So, yeah, I swam for Gustavus all 4 years, which took a lot of time, but was an amazing experience. And, yeah, I was an English major there with religion and history minors, just kind of for fun. So, yeah, but it was a lot of work, but it flew by really quickly, and I still can't really believe it's over. But
but it is, and you're on to the next step. Well, of course, being an intern here at the station, describe a little bit about the project that you've been working on. And people may have heard it on the radio already.
Yeah. Well, actually, Carol kind of recommended I work on interviewing some recent college graduates. So I've been talking to both my Gustavus classmates, mostly swimmers actually, because that's who I spent most of my time with, and some high school classmates as well. So I've had the opportunity to meet in person with a few of them and do some phone interviews, which has been really good practice both ways. Just kind of talking about their experiences in college and their plans for the future, which is obviously really relevant for me to think about and talk about as well. So it's been really fun.
Okay, so did you find out anything surprising about what they're up to after graduating from college?
I think the biggest thing that's kind of struck me so far is just how diverse everyone's kind of future pursuits are, even if they don't necessarily have, I mean, obviously I talk to people with different majors, but it's just really cool seeing kind of where they're all going from here. There are a few going on to grad school, and I guess I was kind of surprised by how many people don't necessarily have concrete plans at this moment, but they have kind of future plans, which I guess I can really relate to as well, because I have sort of tentative future plans, but I really don't know what I want to do long term. So it's kind of comforting to hear that a lot of people are in that same boat as well. But
okay. And your major, tell us about your major.
Yeah, well, as an English major, I've been asked so many times if I'm going right into teaching, which I did think about, but there are so many other things to do, as you know as well. So I've kind of played around with newspaper, and radio has been a really cool other outlet to look at. And I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of grant writing coming up next year. So just kind of trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with my English major. I know I want to write probably no matter what I end up doing, but whether it's in a teaching capacity or kind of broadcast or publishing capacity, I'm not really sure yet. So.
Okay, very good. I'm here with Libby Larson. She is the news intern here at the radio station. Actually, I think she is our first summer news intern since I've been here for about 11 years. But we're trying to develop that program here at the station. So if anybody has any interest or any wants to inquire about what it entails, you can give us a call here at Layton Broadcasting in Detroit Lakes. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Libby about her next chapter in her life here on Hometown Happenings on TV3. All right, welcome back to Hometown Happenings. Carol McCarthy here at Layton Broadcasting in our newsroom with our summer news intern. We're starting a new internship program here at Layton Broadcasting. If anybody's interested, we have a position here that Libby is, I guess, our guinea pig here for the news internship. She's been working on helping write a little manual this summer as well, tapping into her English major. But Libby, talk a little bit about now you were interviewing people, fellow graduates, and talking about what their experience has been after college. So I'm going to turn the tables and ask you, what's been your experience now after you've graduated from college? You said you have an intern, or you have a job lined up after college. You're heading out now in August.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a traditional job in the sense that I won't actually be getting paid, but I'm working through Lutheran Volunteer Corps, and I'm actually heading to Delaware in just a few weeks, which is a huge change, but I'm really excited for. So they provide housing and food, and I'll be working as a grant writer for the Ministry of Caring, which deals with homelessness in Wilmington. So it'll be I think challenging in a lot of ways because they are encouraging us to live more simply, and obviously being that far from home will be a big change too. But yeah, I'm really excited to kind of have that next step, and it is only for a year, so it's just kind of a nice chance to take a bit of a gap before I do think about grad school or actually getting a real job and pursuing a career. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So like you said, it's in Delaware. So what led you to this?
Yeah. Well, I remember last summer I was really trying to think of, I did have to start thinking about the future beyond graduation. And while I was kind of thinking about graduate school, just the fact that I didn't know exactly what I wanted to go into, it didn't feel necessarily very responsible just to go to grad school for the sake of going to grad school. So I was really looking at opportunities for service especially, and just some time to kind of start planning for the future, but really do some exploring because I don't really have those responsibilities to necessarily tie me down yet. So this is the perfect time to do that. And I'm not actually sure how I came upon Lutheran Volunteer Corps, whether I just kind of found it online. I know they did visit my school a few times, but I feel like I actually talked to them more after I started to get interested in it. So it just kind of worked out nicely. And I did have to go through an application process where I just kind of applied to the program itself. And then you actually don't choose necessarily based on location, but it's more what role you feel like your talents would be best suited for. So I kind of ranked those and did a little bit of interviewing, and I ended up making the connection with Wilmington, Delaware. So yeah, it was kind of a whirlwind, but I'm excited. Yep.
All right, very good. So you're heading off to the East Coast. Now, just about the interview process, did you do, now graduates now, I'm assuming there's a lot of Skype interviewing. Did you go to face-to-face interviews, or was it all kind of phone, or how did that work?
It was phone, which actually isn't my favorite. I really like being able to kind of look at people and have that, I guess, ability to, I don't know, it's just kind of weird having that disconnect over the phone, but I definitely had to get used to it pretty quickly because I had to do a few, but yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'm sure your experience in radio now, you feel better talking to nobody, writing stories. So let's talk a little bit about this internship then. Some of the things that you are taking away from it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the biggest thing, it's just been really cool to see that there are so many things you can do with an English major. And I mean, you don't necessarily have to be Englishy to be in radio, but I guess I have so much more. I mean, obviously I respected what you did before, but just seeing how much you do is crazy. So it's been really cool kind of getting that inside peek, because I've driven by the station like every day and just getting the chance to come in here and just see everything that's involved. So it's been a really cool career exploration as well, and it's been a fun way to kind of try out my English skills too.
I'll give you your big check for saying that after the show. Well, no, it's been a great opportunity here to see you and to work with a college graduate, and just the ability to write and use your skills. It's always fun to see that, and to see you gain a new what do we call it? Talent, I guess you could, or a skill that will be working on your resume as well. So that's very cool, kind of a resume building thing.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much for having me. It's really been a cool experience. But
all right.
Yep.
Libby Larson is our summer intern. She's about to head off into her next chapter of life. And if you would like to learn more about the internship here at Layton Broadcasting, give us a call here at 847-5624. And with that, with Libby Larson, I'm Carol McCarthy for TV3 Hometown Happenings.